We have Zach Starry with us, who is I asked him what to say. He says he was a 39-year-old goalie, backup goalie. What are you?
39-year-old rookie
goalie for one of the beer league teams. Which ones do you play on?
Really Swift.
Okay, which is perfect because I love Taylor Swift. It's great. And I always kid Zach too and say that he is gonna something's gonna happen during a Havoc game and they're gonna have a backup goalie and he's going to be there. Do you carry your gear to the game just in case?
No.
Well, I think you should.
You'll be able to borrow Proctor's.
Yeah, you can borrow Proctor's. Yeah. So I always said there's going to be a time we're going to see him down there and be like, we know that guy. He's going to save the game.
I know that guy.
He talks to me. And then we also are joined tonight by the lovely Stephanie Jeffrey, who is the adult hockey director for NAHA, which is the North Alabama Hockey Associations. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate both of you to come talk some hockey. So, how are you guys doing? How are you feeling after this hockey season that just ended for the Havoc? Let's just ask that. Zach's always got an opinion on hockey.
I'm a Chicago sports fan. We always lose, and our season's done at the end of the season anyways. We don't know what playoffs are, so
regular season is everything.
Yeah, it cushions it a little bit, but you get 3 extra weeks if you go to the playoffs. So the only thing that sucks is the not knowing who's coming back.
Yeah,
and you got 5 months before you start figuring out who all got to come back, and then the Havoc like to play games with you. And last year we didn't know until just moments before the season started that we were getting Reggie and Dom back, and so you get a lot of your favorites that have been here a while, and so you don't know, are they cutting you a hometown deal and just saying, hey, don't tag me, I'm coming back, or are they just not coming back? Because no one knew Fish was gone, I think, all year. They were like, where'd he go? Was he coming back? So they never announced who's retiring and who they're actually keeping and stuff like that.
Who are you hoping comes back? Like core, who do you want to see?
Willie. Yeah, okay. Willie and Proctor. I want to see that. I want to see them cancel the ECHL so we stop losing guys. And I want to see our goaltenders stay a whole year so we have a good backup. And as far as that, those would be the two. Willie being the first. I'd love to see him come back. I thought when we signed him a couple years ago, I talked to DeSalvo, and he said that he's going to be a good goalie. They played together in Dansbury, but then he took some call-ups and did well up there. We got Robo back, and Robo kind of finished it. And then last year it was still Robo's net. This year I was intrigued to see what we get with Willie being the number one guy, and he didn't disappoint. I'd love to see him take another season, especially like I said, with all these rookies getting a second year. Yeah. Going down the stretch, we went from 5th to 2nd in 2 weekends.
Yeah.
So, if we could do that, sustain that, not have all these call-ups and everything like that, then I think next year we could definitely make a bigger run for it. So
having a good goalie matters. And we proved it. He played, we used to see every other week they would change the goalie in the lineup. Like you never saw, it's not that it wasn't consistent. It was just like I expected on a 3-game weekend that we would be one night, one the other one night. And it wasn't the way this year. It was very much consistent. We played Willie and like that trusted and knowing, that he knew what he was doing. So I like that. Stephanie, did you follow a lot of Havoc hockey?
Kestner.
Push this closer.
Sorry.
There you go. No, Tim. No. So Kestner, you liked watching him?
I'm needing Kestner to come back.
Okay.
I think we've all heard the rumors that this may have been his one and done here.
Yeah.
That he was looking to come home and finish it up here. But a lot of us were talking this weekend and think he's got a lot more to give.
Yeah.
So, Josh, if you're listening, if you see this, hear this,
do you remember watching him play as a college kid here or other things? What was that like watching him in those years?
Absolutely amazing. Never missed a game.
Yeah.
UAH games at the BBC were something special. They really were. And that transition from Cats over to Havoc was amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And to see him back now, as SPHL, as Havoc, and it would be fighting ice, back in the day where if you have UAH, you don't have Havoc.
Yeah.
And to see him make that transition over, the maturity level that changed in his game, to watch him, more consistency in his play, and to see him make smarter decisions and just the level of play on there was so much different.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about, you guys are involved in beer league hockey. Zach, how long have you been playing this and doing this? Is this kind of like your
26 years now with the 8-year hiatus. It's 26 now.
just total playing for you?
Yeah, I started when I was 5.
Okay.
And then when I turned 30, we moved down here, and you don't think of hockey in the South, and it wasn't until I think it was a year or two after we got down here I realized, there's hockey in Huntsville. And then it was a couple years after that I realized they have a really strong adult league, but it's not promoted very strongly, and it was just from getting to know other fans, and they played, and it's like, Decatur had one, but they closed the rink and all that stuff. So, but the hat trick was still little, so I didn't want to leave, and my whole thing was come down here as a family, and then now they finally got to a good age where they can kind of be more self-sufficient at home and not have to be watched by one parent.
You didn't want to bring them to the rink? I've seen people take their kids fishing and come up with really cool ways. You could have baby-proofed a rink.
And he does, and those are my favorite games.
When the kids get to come.
When Chelsea and the Hat Trick are there.
That's awesome.
That team is on.
That's awesome. So, how long have you been playing beer league hockey?
Since college. So I came out of college, and I didn't know what to do. It was D2. It wasn't nothing big. Didn't think I had a shot. Rivermen were the only thing local at that point, and they were AHL.
Their face.
Yeah, I'm a recovering Riverman fan.
I'll allow it.
Riverman fan anonymous.
Yeah.
There you go.
But so I did. We did a traveling men's league. We went and played a lot of tournaments. Played with ex-pros and stuff like that. Went to tournaments all over the place, and they were the Pekin Stars. Did that for a few years, but played the Sunday night league and all that stuff, which was kind of weird because growing up, our parents played in that. We used to make fun called the old man league, and then you graduate and you wind up having nowhere else to go but there. So
all roads lead to beer league.
That's it. Yep. And up there, it's a lot more.
Is there a lot of beer up there in beer league?
No, the rinks won't let you bring it in, so it's weird.
We had that talk with Killer.
Yeah, the Killer. Yeah.
Not legally, they're not allowed. They don't have it in there.
So where did the term beer league come from?
Because they go out and drinking afterwards.
The after party of it. Okay.
And then down here, there's a beer everywhere. They go everywhere. They got so many beer restaurants or whatever, breweries, that they have a whole draft tournament in the fall named after each brewery, and they've got 16
this year. Yeah, there will be.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Stephanie, what do you do with the NAHA? What is your role? Like you do a lot of things, and of course, when Zach told me about you, he was like, "Oh, she's really the glue that kind of holds this whole thing together." So, tell us about you.
So, I'll start with Zach and I met because he's actually my really swift goalie.
Yeah.
So he had reached out and called. I'm going to tell you a story because I'm good at that. And
some Zach Starry dirt. Do we have some of that?
A little bit. Okay. Just a little bit.
Try not to hold it against him.
He reached out and said that, hey, I'm an old guy, haven't played in forever. No, really. That's what he told me. I'm an old guy, haven't played forever, looking to play. How do we get back in? So we got him into Senior Open League, which is the league in NAHA. And as a, kind of a backup goalie, sub-goalie situation, I captain a team in the other league, in Huntsville Amateur Hockey League, and needed a goalie for summer. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, do you want to play? And he was like, really? And I think that's kind of history.
Yeah.
On there, but
signed up to be a sub, and every time I would see an email, it'd be too late and somebody already answered it to sub. So I was like,
nice.
Oh, maybe I'll never get to play.
They go quick. But so he subbed in SOL, Senior Open League, not the other SOL that people, out of luck. But, so what I do is run Senior Open League. We have a full development program within NAHA strictly for adults. You have to be 18 to get into it, take part in it. So you were mentioning that you guys want to get in gear and get out there.
I just want to try it. Just for the record, I don't want to do this forever. I just want to. I need 1 hour, 5 minutes.
I know someone on this.
I'm gonna take my knee up so nothing breaks, and I just want to hit a puck in there. So
So, ADP, Adult Development Program, would be perfect place, perfect setting for that.
Is that something where I've never played hockey and I want to learn how to play hockey, I come to, or like what is that exactly?
That is, we will teach you how to put on your gear, how to stand up, how to fall, how to get up when you fall repeatedly.
Interesting.
Because that will happen. Learn how to skate, stick handling, shooting, passing, all of it. And it starts out at a very low level, whatever level the people in the class need. We allow 24 skaters in there, 2 goalies, and the coaching for that is just fantastic. We have absolutely amazing coaches, and they get to know the participants in the class. Each class is 8 weeks long and kind of goes through a bit of a cycle, but you work on a little bit of everything each night. If you're somebody who's brand new to hockey, then you're going to be in one group. If you're somebody who's looking at learning more about how to skate backwards or wanting to work on crossovers or a little bit more
technical,
bit more intermediate kind of stuff, then we have coaches for that, and you get shuffled to a different part of the ice, and everybody runs through typically the same drills, but a little bit something added or a different level for each of those drills. So they're tailored to the skill level of, the portion of the group that you're in.
That's kind of neat. Would you do it?
Yeah.
You would do it?
My brother-in-law has been wanting to do it, and he was like, we need to find out when the next one starts, this and that, and I was like, I'm not scared of skating. I'm scared of falling and not getting back up.
I'm scared of breaking something.
I'm not scared of skating. I'm not scared of falling.
It's really not that bad.
I can skate. I can ice skate. So
it looks worse than it really is.
And I'm not scared of getting injured. It's how is this going to get back up? That's my only thing. It's true.
I fall when I ice skate, and I'm fine. But I probably will have all the guards on.
Well, they put me in figure skates when I go to the Iceplex.
Yeah.
And then the third time I was like, now I know the difference between the blades, and I was like, could I not? I understand that I'm a girl, but I don't need this. I need the hockey skates. Yeah. And that was immensely better, first of all.
No toe pick.
Yeah.
Toe pick's evil.
Yeah.
And I've learned I'm not very good at tying skates. I had one of my best friends, he tied it for me, and I was like, oh my God, is this what it's supposed to feel like? And he was like, yeah. And it was so much better. I was like, oh, here we go.
And they'll teach you that in the class too.
That's really cool. How much does it cost for people to go through? How does that work?
So right now, the whole session is less expensive if you register at the beginning and do the whole 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Individual classes are $35 a piece. Otherwise, the session itself is $30 for each of the classes.
Yeah.
So,
and is that like one class a week? How does that work?
One class a week. It's Monday nights. Right now, we are back to our earlier time slot. So from now until probably the middle end of September, we'll have a 7:40 p.m. time slot on Monday nights.
Nice.
So, and then if you're somebody who has been skating for a while, but you want to work on the cool back crossovers, and there's things that they do in this other class. We call it 2.0, and it's pass the puck in front of you and bounce it off your skate blade behind your other foot and catch it behind you and pass it to the guy. And I'm like, what? No.
Yeah, the lights are on. Nobody's home right now.
Yeah.
I'll do good to just connect the puck with the stick to get it to where it needs to be.
We're going to get both of you out there.
I will do it. I will. Contrary to all of my I shouldn't do this. I will wrap my knee up really good.
That's a live show idea right there.
Yeah,
exactly.
But if I do get injured, don't put me in an ambulance. Put me in the back of the car because that's expensive.
I don't know that I would. I've been ice skating several times.
Would you go film it?
Younger, that I would do.
You get you and you get Guy and Jacob to do your roles while they go out there.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
That would be perfect.
I'd pay to watch that. I would pay to watch this.
That would be fun.
There's your
there it
to
is.
get the education day.
Yeah, there we go.
For.
There we go. We can get education day paid for. Come out and watch the two idiots. So, Zach also mentioned though that you organize a bunch of stuff too with the leagues.
Organize all kinds of crazy stuff,
like with the leagues and the divisions. And didn't you say that y'all had to add more because some teams don't play well with each other and people leave and all those things? So
the two different leagues that we have here in Huntsville, SOL and then the Havoc Amateur, HAHL, focus on things a little bit differently. In SOL, the one that I'm responsible for, we're very much about trying to keep people playing at the right skill level and keep things competitive within divisions. So we have 5 divisions in either 4 or 6 teams in each of those divisions for a total of 26 teams.
Yeah.
Between all of the NAHA adult hockey programs, we have almost 450 people
that play.
How between ADP, ADL, software's computer, and help from an amazing individual named Tommy Blackwell.
But like, how? Not only that, but like, how do you have enough time in the week to have all those? Like, how many games are running?
So 13 games on Sundays, 1 ADP on Monday nights, an ADL, which is a development league that teach you where to need to be on the ice and basic play and what have you. All the cool things you hear about, breakouts and how to line up and all of that is that other class. In the summer, we throw in the 2.0, and we're actually adding something new that I'm working on. We are developing a women's program. We're going to give it an 8-week shot, and that's what I want to get you two out in.
I'll go do it. I won't play it professionally.
No judgment. No judgment. And we can get you gear. We have rental gear.
That'd be fun.
And it is. It's a lot of, once you get into the groove on it, it's a lot to maintain.
Why did you feel like there was a need to do a women's league group? And I say that because I know that a lot of the teams are co-ed, and so I do see women out there. And I kind of, when I see them, I'm like proud to see them out there because it would take a lot for me to be on a men's league. Like, I would already feel like imposter syndrome because I should not be out there doing it. But I know, but there's so, like, because hockey seems at the front of it, such a men's sport, and the women's sport is just now kind of getting its,
it is.
Its frontage, especially since the gold medal and all that stuff. So what was the reasoning behind thinking a women's league?
So we've had a growing women's hockey community here in Huntsville. Last year we were at about 53 women. Over the age of 18, our youth female core with the girls under 18 has also been growing. NAHA has started doing a women's or a young girls tournament team last year. So we are in a massive growth spurt right now. We'll be adding teams to our summer league. We'll be adding teams to fall over what we've had in the past. Over the last probably 7-8 weeks now, pre-Olympics, with all of the lead up on that. It's an Olympic year.
Yeah.
It was an Olympic year.
Do you have a lot of girls come out after they won gold?
We do.
How did that happen?
We do. There are 15 new over 18 women that have contacted me prior to, with all of the lead up to the women's games, and then after as well. You get emails where somebody says, "Hey, I have never done this. I have always wanted to do this. How do I get involved?" And I'm like, "Whoo, let me in front of the computer. We're sending this email. We're going to get, this girl, this woman out here." Because the opportunities weren't always there.
Yeah.
You joked about they handed you figure skates.
Yeah.
When,
I don't think I've ever had hockey skates. I've always been given, like you, figure skates.
Now that I know, no shot am I using figure skates.
Yeah. I joke, back in the day. I didn't start playing hockey until I was almost 50. Didn't know that the programs that we have existed here in Huntsville. And, a chance meeting at an eye doctor of all places, and the office manager there was like, saw I was wearing a Havoc hoodie and was like, "Do you play?" And I'm like, "How would I even do that?" And he's like, "We have stuff for that here."
That's
so
cool.
That's my mission now, is to let people know that we have stuff for that here. But we are, with the new women that have contacted, we will be up to almost 70 women this summer. on the ice between Havoc League and then all of the NAHA programs. So
we got the most on our team, don't we?
We do, and that's both teams that I play on. The one that I captain that Zach is on, goalie extraordinaire over here. About half of our team is female.
Nice.
And we joke on that. I'm going to throw this in here because, last year there was an email that went around that it was unfair that we had all of these women on our team. There was this female advantage on the team. And it was like, what? I don't understand.
Female advantage.
Female advantage. Yeah, female advantage.
I'll take that all day.
And
That's
I'm like,
hilarious.
okay. But the fact is that women do play different. If you watch PWHL,
100%.
We play differently. We are not as aggressive on the ice physically, for the most part. There's exceptions that I'm looking behind me over here. But you can't see. But we're more about a finesse game, more passing, more of the little tweaks and the touches and that type of thing, and less about, hey, who am I going to put into the boards? And all of our leagues here, our adult leagues, are what they call a competitive contact. They're no-check leagues. So contact does happen.
Are there fights? Do everybody has there ever been a time when...
Should have been one last weekend.
Yikes.
Were you going to do it?
He was Papa Bear.
Fight? You were going to be a goalie fight?
I tripped.
He was Papa Bear.
You tripped.
Someone from the team, the championship game, full extension, cross-checked in the back, right by the boards.
And you're not supposed to do that.
No, he got a 2 and a 10 for boarding. A guy got a 2 and a 10 for boarding on one of the women on the team.
I came out.
Oh, my God.
I came out after him and tripped and looked like Cujo sliding into the ref.
And I'm about 10 feet away, heading in, looking, going, oh, this is happening.
But have there ever been,
Unfortunately, there has been. We've got a couple of people that are no longer allowed to play.
Getting kicked out of beer league, it's like...
Crazy.
Getting kicked out of beer league. Nobody is there to scout for the NHL, not the SPHL. There's nobody from the Havoc coming to watch and go, hey, I'm going to pay you to play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a little bit crazy, but it's a passionate sport.
That's interesting.
Hence a lot of the fights that you see across all the leagues. We've got great refs that keep the games under control in both leagues, quite honestly. And a lot of the refs overlap, but they do a good job of trying to keep everybody safe, because when it comes down to it, everybody's got to go to work the next morning. So.
And Zach, I've seen you talk about how some of those games are really late at night too.
Yeah, we got there's a team in the league that a lot of the guys go to church on Sunday, so they take all those Friday night games. There's a slot on Friday for teams to rotate into. So they take them all. So every fifth week we were playing a Friday night game, and it was about 9:10. There was one that was like 9:15, 9:30, something like that.
Wow.
I think there was a 10 o'clock game in there at one point.
And is it the same as length of time as a regular game, or is it different?
18 minutes.
They're 18-minute periods. 3 18-minute periods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Has there ever been? You have any good stories or exciting stories from playing? You want to share? You got one? Or things that stand out the most, I guess, for you getting to do it?
So up north, it was pretty big. Hockey's pretty big up there. And there's a lot of, I guess they kind of do it here, but they're not in our division and stuff. But up there, it was just everybody was all in one. And a lot of ex-Riverman players that stayed around would either play in Peoria's league or they'd go and play in Pekin's league. And they came up with an idea one year to do a Corey's Cup, which was the name of a sports restaurant nearby that was one in each town. Pekin's best versus Peoria's best. And we carried 2 goalies. They carried 2 goalies, and then you took your best players. And we had a few Rivermen. They had a few Rivermen. Well, we smoked them in game 1. So game 2 was the next weekend, and they beat us by a goal. So game 3 had to be decided by a shootout. And I was the last goalie in net, so the shootout was mine. And they had all 5 ex-Rivermen in their shootout lineup.
Interesting.
And these guys were ECHL and AHL, and one of them was Guy Trudell, the coach of the Ribbon now.
Ugh.
And we
all feel that way.
One of the guys comes over and goes, just don't go down. Just don't go down. They're going to try and deke you. Just don't go down. I said, okay. First guy comes in, he rings it off the post. Next guy rings it off the post. Third guy hits the crossbar. Fourth guy, which was Guy, come down, and he shot, and I just went down and took it off the pad. And I think our fourth guy scored, so their fifth guy come down, and I'm like, oh, man, just please save this one. We win this, and I can look good. My knees were just buckling, and he come down, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Tucker was the guy's name, and he tried to make a move and overskated it, and he knew he missed. He just kept on going. He pulled a marsh on, and I'm still standing there. I was like waiting for like him to turn around, and everyone's coming towards me. I was still just standing there. I was in disbelief that I had just stopped 5 shots from ex-pros and all that stuff. So, and my dad had passed away a month earlier, so they let me take the cup home and everything like that. So that was. I took it over to the first stop took it to his grave and took pictures with it and everything like that. So
nice.
That's awesome.
That's probably the one memory of beer league that stood out. And then, second was getting to come back with her inviting me, and we won the championship and stuff like that this summer and all that stuff. So that was a cool kind of get back into it. And the team that we're on, it's not a team, it's a family. I don't know if you guys have seen my post and all that stuff, but there's not one loss we've had where, it felt like there was drama or there was somebody blaming it. It's just she does a great job picking the right people, and I think that's why we do so well. Is it's not the best people, it's the right people. So when you get in beer league and stuff like that, you know, a lot of people kind of hate it and they get drowned out because it's like, oh, they're on the wrong team because that team only wants to win. Yeah. And she's taken in a few. We got one this year off of a team, and this year he was just like, and I love playing on this team. It's so much different than the last one I was on. So
well, it should be fun. Like, this is not, we're not making careers out of this. We're not getting paid and going pro. This is hobby. This is fun stuff.
Right.
You know, how long's the average beer league player get to keep playing?
Till he quits.
I mean, we've got players. We've got players. We've got a goalie in his mid-70s.
Wow.
Still plays great.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're scared to go out there.
I'm scared to go out there. I mean, I don't want to go to the hospital. I blew my knee out on a trampoline, guys. I have like permanent trauma from that for the rest of my life. So it'll be like taped shut. What? You know, my husband's not allowed to go out there, but he broke his leg and had already. We're not doing that again. He's not allowed to go out there unless he's taped all his legs up too. I was curious, what if you guys could change? Like, are there certain rules in beer league that are different from, like, is it all the same, or is there certain things in beer league that you just don't do? Like we talked about, like you just don't, I guess, fight, but. Are there other
like
things?
Like the contact.
Like, are there certain things in beer league that just doesn't happen?
Contact is really the big one. Competitive contact, touching somebody, holding somebody on the boards. It's the aggressive contact, the open ice checks, boarding. You don't two-hand swing your stick at somebody and not expect to, get a game for it.
So is there something that you guys either wish could be changed in some of the rules or anything? Or are you happy with how, I guess, the structure of those things are? Is there anything you would change about it? Zach's smiling over here.
I'm a goalie, so I'd rather than do running clock the whole game. What they do is if you're within 3 goals, they stop the clock the last 3 minutes. I've had 3 shutouts ruined because of that, because that last 3 minutes takes 6 minutes instead of a running clock, because when you freeze the puck, the clock stops.
Yeah.
They ice the puck, the clock stops. So in normal time, they ice the puck, cover it, whatever the incentives to get the clock to run down.
Yeah.
They don't, and so then, and
why did they do that? Why did they not
give the other team a chance to catch up? It's kind of like soccer, extra time. I mean, it's a
everybody gets a participation.
Well, if you suck, you suck.
Yeah,
and
the score difference needs to be under 3. So it's under 3 minutes with a score differential of under 3. If it's 3-0, it's not happening. If it's 3-1, then you go to stop clock.
Yeah, and I'm like Dale Earnhardt at Talladega or Daytona, one of the two. What was it? He never could finish a race.
Yeah.
He would always, something happen, slip on a penny on the track. That's how it is the last minute. I know, like, oh, man, one's going to go in. Or my defenseman will bank it off her skate and put it for me or something.
She left.
She's not here.
Yeah,
Okay.
she left.
So I just wondered if there was anything different about it because, you can't. You have certain rules in college, so I just wondered if they changed some of those things.
So we follow with NAHA. We follow USA Hockey. We can change some things, but it's a minimum standard. Something that I am looking at for summer. We talked a little bit about PWHL earlier. They do something where if you are on a penalty kill and you are shorthanded and score a shorthanded goal, it's the jailbreak rule.
Yes.
Your guy gets out of the box. And that's something that I actually want to look at implementing and giving a little whirl this summer in SOL. And
nice.
the advantage to that is instead of just, playing cautiously and trying to prevent, play your four-man box, you're actually going to play more aggressively and try to get that shorthanded goal and get your guy back out sooner. So
Interesting.
So I know someone. She might be able to make that happen.
Nice.
If they did that in the SP, we would have been a different team as well.
100%.
We've got the most shorthanded goals of all the teams, so I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
I keep hearing little rumors that the NHL is talking about it. That would be fantastic to
That's
see
probably
them
where they would
adopt that
test it
next
then,
year.
is SP.
Yep, they always test things down here to see if they like it or not, which is
Yeah.
interesting. And that's kind of funny to me. They don't test it in the league that's right below them.
Yeah.
Like, they go down to us. I don't know if that's like they don't have any hope that we're going to be able to pull it off, or they know that our league is just really good and has that kind of quality and talent to try those things.
It could be a call-up thing. You don't want a
Could
guy
be.
come from the A to the N and
Yeah.
be expecting a whole different type of rules. So
That's true.
Penalty kill, he's trying to get breakaways instead of trying to ice
true.
it.
Yeah. How important do you both of you guys feel having like beer league or having Huntsville Havoc has been to kind of grow some of the interest in beer league? Like this, it's weird. Like these things all kind of work together, and I know that, like you said, Alabama's not necessarily known for having hockey in the South. So I'm just curious about what do you think, and how do you think that something like this is important to just growing hockey in general?
I mean, it's fantastic. I love to go to a Havoc game and see so many people there that we see at the rink regularly. You see a lot of people wear their team jerseys at the Havoc games. You see a crazy jersey, it's like, what is that?
See them in the wild. I think this year Jacob and Guy were finding Bandits jerseys in the wild and posting them. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. So I think it's fantastic. We've got some of the Havoc guys stick around over the summer, and they'll get involved in play in the beer league, in A division. We get some weeknight ice for them during the summer, and they play, and you'll get some Havoc guys
That's cool.
get out there and take part in that. We've got former Havoc, former UAH, former Cats, guys that are refs, that are coaches, that are youth hockey coaches, travel coaches, just getting them involved, and it gives them still that link to hockey and what they grew up doing and loving, and being able to pass that on as well. And I will take advantage of that as
Nice.
as much as anybody will let us.
Nice.
I think the other thing too that kind of it doesn't get recognition or not, it doesn't get thought of, but I'm a product of it. Is you find out the Havoc are in town, you go watch it. The dad falls in love with it, the kid falls in love with it. Hey, they got youth events. You sign them up for youth. I know Jesse Rainwater, his son. That's how they started coming to Havoc games. Then
I was
next thing
literally about to say that.
he played in youth high. Now he's on the travel league team.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the dads start playing because their kid played, like Maples, started playing, because his kid started playing.
Yeah.
And then there's a goalie, his kid started playing, so then he said, well, I'm going to play goalie too, so we can learn this together.
Nice.
5 kids and a wife later, they're all on the ice.
Yeah, and then these kids are going to graduate from it somewhere. I mean, not everybody's good enough to go play travel league. Not everybody's good enough to go play college. They're going to go to college local, so then they still want to play because they enjoy it.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to mess his name up. The leading penalty minute guy in the summer, Hirschbein?
Hirschbein?
Yeah, Hirschbein, that's it. He was saying started loving the Havoc, started playing hockey, graduated out of the youth league, and now he plays the adult league. So I think having a pro team in the area brings notice that, hey, there's hockey. Ooh, I love this sport. Oh, now there's something I can actually do and enjoy it too. So that helps out, keeps the numbers up for beer league. So,
and I just was sitting here thinking about like sports in the state of Alabama that are like the thing. Like we talk about football is the thing, right, in Alabama. It's not like when football season's over, we have adults playing adult football leagues or those things. I don't even know if those things exist.
They do.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
But I just don't hear about that a lot. Like I don't, and even in like people that I know that love football, like I don't know anybody that's in those kinds of things. But hockey, you've got other opportunities to kind of take part in something that, you enjoy watching.
Well, hockey's something to where, the common man can play and not be injured. It does cost a lot, but it's something to where, like, when you graduate high school, if you don't go to college, where are you going to play football at? You probably play out in the park, two-hand touch or something. Basketball is, it's a pickup game on the court.
Right.
Baseball, it turns into softball, and it's not the same competitiveness.
Or church leagues or things like that you go be a part of.
And like you mentioned, Killer, he left the Havoc and he's playing beer league.
Yeah.
He still gets to scratch his itch a little bit and, not have to worry about the travel and the cost on the body and stuff like that. So hockey is something that translates no matter if you're Ed's age or, a young kid at 5 trying to learn to play.
So you have 3 kids that you call your hat trick.
Yeah.
And I finally figured out why every time you say hat trick, what you meant. I finally figured that out.
Lord.
It was like, not like tonight, but it was like a long time ago. I was like, why does he keep saying he's a hat trick? Kids. I think that's really cool. You got 3 kids.
Yep.
But I was thinking about hat tricks. We have beer league hat tricks, so those happen. And what do you guys do? They get hats thrown? What happens when somebody gets a hat trick in beer league? There's nothing.
We keep waiting on Tanya to give us gift cards, but that never shows up.
So there needs to be a beer league booster club.
Oh, God.
You got some questions for them?
Yeah, so we've got just things from, like, this season as a whole, looking back at our favorites of certain things. And I know that's one of my favorite things to do at the end of the season, even if it is cut short. So, like your favorite jersey, whether it was like the actual home jersey, alternate specialty. I'll tell you mine, if we could consider it a specialty, is the warm-ups.
I got one of those.
Man, I grabbed, as soon as I saw it, I grabbed it because I knew they were going to be gone.
Yeah, those are probably my favorite, but it's the 90s.
That's why I love it.
It looks like those cups.
Scratches my Saved by the Bell itch. I don't know what it is, but I love it. And I don't ever wear I'm weird. I won't wear a hockey jersey to the game very often. I don't know why. Just a t-shirt girl, but I wear that. I'm excited about having one. So, what about them? What do you guys? What was yours?
I'm going with the warm-ups as well.
They were so good.
I really am.
That was probably the best warm-ups we ever had.
What was the worst jersey this year, you thought?
Oh,
I always liked
There was a lot. This wasn't a good year for jerseys. I mean, the graphics, the image, they were good, but just the...
Was it the quality?
No, just the design of the jersey. It was, eventually you're going to run out of ideas. I think the jerseys I hate the most are the ones that get recycled through the league. Peoria had the Scooby-Doo ones that we had this year. They had them last year or something like that. So it's kind of like, it's not really our jersey.
I wonder if that's a licensing problem.
Probably.
I think they told me one time they only are allowed to get so many Snoopy jerseys because of the license. So
I think the one I was most disappointed in, that I was so hyped in, was the red ones. I thought that was so cool. That I love that.
You're talking about the ones with the crest?
With the H.
Yeah.
I love the lines, but then you flip it over and the lines don't match going back up. I feel like they should have both been going the same direction. And when you flip it over and you got like these two connect and then the rest don't, and it just was like, it was right there, and it could have been an awesome jersey, and it just to me it kind of ruined it. But
see, to me it looked like Huntsville High School soccer to me. That whole jersey to me.
And then it kind of reminded me of the Knoxville Ice Bears jerseys they had with just the big K, the old English K. Yeah. That one. So I got more thinking about it. I was like, that one kind of had so much hype, and then it just disappointed
We own
me.
one because it was the only Brian Wilson jersey they had. I think they had to find, it was the only thing they had in the warehouse. So Drew was not very picky about that. It doesn't look terrible, but it does make me think I'm going to a soccer game.
Yeah. My only thing is, and I say this every time, is even though they're specialty jerseys, they just don't feel as special because they're every game, it feels like.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, specialty jerseys, let me cycle through 30.
Right.
And I think the reason is that it's the branding, it's the marketing, it's the family getting them in there, it's the making a night out of it, where it's not just a hockey game. It's Scooby-Doo night, and you get to do it, for family. I see that from a marketing standpoint of why they do it, but I'm with you. I think we have
make a T-shirt, bro. Leave it at a T-shirt.
I mean, the money does help.
Oh, 100%.
It keeps us getting new laser lights and stuff like that. So I
think it's a marketing thing. I agree with you. I think we do have a lot of them, but I think it's also they have kind of somebody's figured out a niche on what people want. And there were some people, and we'll get to some of the comments that fans left here in a little bit, but people collecting jerseys. I think we bought more jerseys this year than I've ever purchased. We have so many freaking jerseys that I don't know what we'll ever do with all these jerseys, and we will not sell them. That will not happen. So
yeah,
my least favorite one, and I hate to say it, was the what is it? The German night.
The Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah. I forgot about that one.
Oh, my God. No offense. We're at a German beer place. That's no offense. Tim's going to get me.
The Lederhosen kind of lost me on that one.
I'm right there with you on that.
They're just, I don't know. I hope I'm not offending anybody. I was not impressed with.
I loved it in like the most ironic way. I was like, these are so bad that it's funny.
All I thought was if Steve Moulton was still on the call, I could only imagine his tirade he would have of trying to see the numbers in the back of those jerseys. They were like that. I was not happy with that.
That's one of those.
The thing that was weird this year was how many specialty jerseys they made that they only sold to the fans and they didn't actually wear on the ice.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, they had so many that was just like, okay, you anticipated they were coming out in them, and it's like, oh, these were only meant for fans, and stuff like that. So, then they rolled out those cool Christmas ones that I get made fun of because I bought one of those.
You talking about the Snoopy one?
No, the one that looks like a sweater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah, I liked it, but I get told I look homeless in it. So,
my God.
I got my Snoopy jersey finally, so I was happy about that.
I loved that. I had told my family if it didn't have like the gigantic crest right in the middle, if it just had the little crest like on the lines the way those sweaters are, I would have bought it with no hesitation.
But now
the big crest just like looked kind of strange to me.
Now you have something to wear though to an ugly Christmas sweater.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And they didn't fit like a jersey; they fit kind of like a sweater. So they were a little warmer and a little more snug and everything like that. So yeah, they were nice. But yeah.
So I kind of mentioned this a little bit. Well, it had been mentioned, but like the trade, not getting rid of players, but getting a player, kind of the best one that you think we got.
Kolka.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You know what?
100% a game changer too, and I should have thought about that.
And the heads up that I don't think he wanted to come back because it was Quad Cities, and Quad Cities is not going anywhere. So it's one of those things where I'd rather retire than come back, not make the playoffs, and possibly hurt myself. I think the Havoc had a little insight, probably with Fries, and said, hey, I can get this guy. And they had to give up Paul, and everyone was upset about that. But the upside that you got with Cole was way more than what I think you could have got if you just kept Paul. So then, they make that trade, and I remember all the fans ripping up, he's not even playing. He said he's not even coming back. And it was like a week later he was back. I think he wanted to be back, but he wanted to go to a team that had a chance to make a deep run or make the playoffs at least.
Yeah.
And having Fries here kind of was the ambassador to make that deal, stick. Hey, we're looking for a scorer. Hey, I got a guy who says he wants to come back, but only for this. You got to get the rights for him.
He was another one of those that just... where when he was out there, he was doing what he needed to do. Even in struggle moments, he was still doing what he needed to do. Really good skater. He reminded me a lot of Tyler on the ice, size and skate wise. Like we talked about that a lot, and you were like, I didn't really see Tyler skate and play, but I would see Golka get out on the ice and go, and it reminded me of Tyler.
I can see that
out there and kind of getting to where he needed to be. So yeah, I like that.
And I kept saying like. I keep saying like tough little cookie, and it's not like in a derogatory sense at all. He doesn't have like the height, but it was one of the last games that we played, and the dude is like 6'9", and Golka's like pushing up on him. I'm like, brother, he's just gonna annihilate you. And then he got the guy on the ground. I was like, you know what? Never mind.
He had no quit.
Yeah,
he had no quit.
No quit. Yeah.
No fear.
Yeah.
And I love that.
And he was having fun. That was the other thing. Every time he was in warm-ups and I'd see his face or I'd see him doing something, he was always having a good time. I sat behind the bench one night and got to see, them in the box, and everything. And I always would see, he was always happy. Like, he was always in a good spirit. I don't know how to explain that other than it was just this aura that was on him as a player.
It was probably the location. I mean, I know Tanya works her butt off in the rest of the booster club to make the players feel comfortable. And it is a different environment. You've talked to, other teams, and it's like, what's a booster club? And then the ones that have it, it's just like they're just there to kind of, liaison a little bit. But we have probably the best booster club in the league, and it shows. You don't see the players feel like you're burdening them. I mean, there's people that sit outside for 2 hours after the game waiting for the players to come out to say hi, and the players come out and they're smiling. They just got the crap kicked out of them.
Yeah.
They maybe have lost, a bad game and stuff like that. But it's because the booster club feeds them a good meal, takes care of them, and they can kind of let that go and face the fans and, face anything because, it's short memories are ended with a full belly. So.
And gift cards galore.
Yeah.
I mean, we kept having to give Willie and Alger nothing. I would love to. We need to go back and figure out how many gift cards Willie and Alger probably.
I made the joke all year long that the booster club's going to need a booster club.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
What's your favorite?
What's my favorite? What
trade? I know we kind of went off on a tangent, but your favorite player that we got?
I think Cook at the end was probably one of my favorites because the trade happened. So it happened at the end of the season, right? And so like you're thinking like it happens not at the beginning, not really in the middle. It just kind of like all these started happening. I felt like at times coaching staff was having to make some decisions, right? Because it's a struggle for 5 or 6 or 8 or however. I mean, it was like a drought. And I know that they're also trying to figure out what moves they have to strategically make too. And so I thought Cook coming out was really good. I really also liked the fact that we would trade and get somebody and like their first night out, they'd score. Like Golka scores like on his first night. I think Cook scored his first night. Frank. Mm-hmm. I really liked him. Trezera's probably, he's fun. He was fun to talk to. I liked his aura and his vibe too. Especially being from such an ingrained hockey family that I didn't realize. He's very smart. He knows a lot about playing the game too.
Being out of Texas, it was like, huh?
But knowing that he's basically grown up in an ice rink, and seen everything from around, and there's so much probably really good hockey knowledge inside his brain that
it's crazy.
Probably don't even realize on it.
Yeah,
so, yeah. Who was yours?
Mine was, I think, Chirino. Just like you said, like coming out of a trade, scoring that weekend that we went for my birthday to Knoxville and Evansville. I want to say that was maybe his first weekend. And we were in Evansville. Obviously, the arena's empty. So we sat it's true. We sat
I laugh because it's the truth.
We sat 5 rows behind the bench, and there was nobody in front of us. Nobody. Like, my nephew was so excited because he got to give Nux every time. Willie gave him a puck. Charlie Riss gave him his stick. Regardless, Chirino scored 2 goals. And I was like, Jesus, this dude's going to just come out killing it. Oh, my God. So he was probably, if we'd gotten him earlier, it would be crazy.
What else you got? What other questions you got?
What's your favorite thing to do at the games? Yeah, when you guys go, what's your favorite thing?
You know what? I just love to see everybody there, the kids on the ice when they go down and pick up all the pucks, and just everybody interacting. I mentioned earlier, you get to see everybody that you only see on Sunday, and sometimes it's funny because you don't recognize them
because they're not in their hockey gear.
They're not in gear.
They're normal.
It's like, let me put a little helmet on you, and
Do you have season tickets?
I used to.
Okay. You're very busy. I have no doubt.
Yeah, life got crazy, and I was only able to make about half the games at that point.
Yeah.
So I let them go, and
you still get to come and enjoy.
I still get to come and enjoy a whole bunch during the year. So yeah.
What about you, Zach?
It's probably the Chuck a Puck / Kids Club thing.
I always look for you and Catherine taking kids down. I always see you first because you've always got your military jersey on,
Yeah.
and then I see you last because you're usually to the back.
Yeah, because I'm not missing that game. I take my niece and my nephew sometimes with my sister, and they're like, "Okay, let's go." And there's like 7 minutes left. I said, "I don't think so. Sit down. We got 7 minutes of this game. That means at least 15."
And we always sit way up at the top. And, so we always have to wait for the 5-minute ice cleaning so that we can make it all the way down and get all the way out of everyone's way so we don't wind up on Facebook for not being in our seats while pucks in play. So,
but you get to bring your kids, and so I'm curious, as someone who you grew up and your dad and you had hockey as a connection, okay, and now you've got your hat trick and you get to make that connection with them.
Right.
What is that like? And have you ever, like, are you going to have any hockey? Or are you even going to play? Like, what is all that like?
I played. I know the money it takes. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Onyx wants to play. He has fun, but we got to work on winning and learning because losing sets a different attitude at the end of the house.
Yeah, losing's not fun, but we have to learn what that means when we're little.
And he forgets his dad's 39 years old, and it's my Mario Kart. Like, you're not beating me. You beat me, soak it in because it's not going to happen, and I'm not going to let you do it.
But that must be fun for you, though, knowing you had such a connection with your dad with it, and now you've got your kids you get to do this with.
Right. So me and Dad went to I think it was 2001 when the Ribbon won the ECHL, and I took her in the 18-19 season when the Havoc won. So that was, as they're lifting the trophy and everything, it hit me like, wow, I'm the dad now.
Yeah.
And so then we just kept coming, and then she was little and she wanted to come, so we brought her, and then it was a year later he started coming, and it's just kind of one of those things where as we walk around the rink and everything, it's my connection time with them. It's that memory I know I'm leaving behind because I remember being there with my dad, and you still hold on to those memories and stuff like that.
Your oldest pointed to herself, said she wants to play too. So
does she? We got to work on her toughness.
You can be tough. Apparently, there's a league for you. Apparently, we know a person who might can help with that.
And this one we would have to need bail money for because she'd be the one cross-checking people.
A little Reggie back there.
Yeah, little Reggie back
there. Little Regina.
I would say Reggie from year one when he jumped the boards to go beat up a guy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of energy she brings.
Like it. That's nice. That's so nice.
But she would be definitely a great teammate.
And so I just love that because I think that sums up a lot of what the Jeffries want out of the organization is that family atmosphere and that feeling of you're not just going to, when you spend your money at a Havoc game and hockey on a weekend, it's a family thing and it's going somewhere good. And it's always warms my heart when I see you and then the hat trick. And this is no lie. Your hat trick follows you in the oldest first, and then like they're in order, and it's like teardrops down, and you can see you guys walk by. And I know exactly where you guys sit. So
like the Partridge Family,
exactly, 100%. So I'll be sad in a few years when they're all the same height. They're taller,
And we got one who's getting to the aging out process for like the kids club, and it's kind of sad because she started coming. She was 4, and then we've been coming on. It's kind of one ages. You're like, wow, we've been coming that long.
She needs to learn how to ice skate and be a rink rat.
There you go.
It could be one of those rink rats down there. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Most of them aren't the best, so we laugh every once in a while. There'll be one that wipes out.
There we go. You don't just age out of kids club. You just age into being one of those rink rats down there. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have to figure out. You got any other questions? Anything else for me? Anything
for the rest of the playoffs? Do y'all have a team you're rooting for? If you say Peoria, oh my God.
You're a recovering Peoria fan. You're not allowed.
Also, I feel like I'm bad luck, so I root for Peoria any chance I get. So I hope that like the whole Evansville thing last year, I was like, there's no way you guys lose to Evansville. There's no way you get shut out by Evansville, and they got swept. And so I was like, maybe I just need to keep it up. So in the comments, I'm like, there's no way you're losing to Knoxville.
What about you?
Me? I think it will come down to Peoria and Evansville. That's what I think it'll happen. Knoxville may give them a run for their money, and they're pretty good. I am smiling because I'm recalling in my head some of the text messages you sent me about their goalie the other day that I just died over with Knoxville. But I think I I'm not rooting for any of them. First off, that's not happening. If I think who I think's going to end up winning it, I bet it's Evansville. I feel like I think they're going to win it. Maybe they won't.
Roanoke's look pretty tough though.
Yeah,
but they were playing the Dairy Cows, so
they weren't. Yeah, they weren't playing anybody.
You play Pelham and you get one game guarantee because they can't do it at home. So
literally.
So that's just
game.
Yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about it. I don't exactly feel like. I don't know. I just feel like it'll come down to Evansville maybe, but I'm not rooting for any of them. Period. Won't happen. It's kind of how much I hate Auburn football. I don't like Auburn. Don't ask me.
Yeah, I was only into it last year because Evansville had never been, so I was kind of rooting for them this year. I care less who did it.
No, don't care. I'm like, even like, I probably won't even watch it. Like, my team's not in it right now. I need to probably care and watch it, but maybe I'm just sad.
Well, with NHL playoffs starting, like,
Woo-hoo!
I'm going to be watching that more so.
Thank God we have that kind of hockey.
You said Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Who's your team?
Chicago.
Yep. You're not even Oilers. It's just McDavid.
I'm a Connor McDavid fan. I actually look at my shirt. I'm rooting for an underdog. I want Connor McDavid to get his cup.
So who makes it further in the playoffs? Connor McDavid or Stuart Skinner?
Ooh.
Because I'm telling you, it was not him that was the problem. It was Edmonton.
Yeah.
They ran Tristan Jarry out of town.
Here's my thing. I think Edmonton will play a good game, a good solid game, and then they'll come back the next time and play and then they'll just fall apart. I'm like, they don't even like. They may have a goal or two, but then something happens and they fall apart, and that's what I feel like the last 2 years of a playoff run and getting even down to the Cup Series. They would play a couple of good games, and you'd think, all they got to do is win one game. I mean, McDavid could have already had his cup. They had one game.
He just disappears.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. I don't understand what's going on with them. So, anyway.
Yeah. I tell you, I'd like to see.
Who do you think's going to win?
Yep.
My husband says Tampa Bay.
I would love to see Edmonton lose to Tampa Bay. That'd be really funny.
Oh, God.
That'd be really funny. I tell you, the thing that sucks, though, about the NHL playoffs is this new format they've had for, like, the last decade. Because, I mean, you look at Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota are the three best teams. And one of them at least, but two of them may be gone in the first round. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that shouldn't be. And then you're going to get some scrub team from the Pacific that makes it in the second round. It's like, that just ain't right. And then the East Coast has got it too with Tampa, Buffalo, and Montreal. And you're going to lose, what was it? Who won that one? Who won that division? Was it Tampa or Buffalo? Either way, Montreal and the other one's going to...
Tampa.
Yeah, so then Buffalo's got to play Montreal, and one of them's gone. So I just feel like they need to go back to that 1-8. Stop this conference division, breakdown. It's not.
Well, I did wear my Buffalo shirt. We have hockey shirts wherever we go for Gabe, and so these came from when we were in Canada, up in New York, and can't find a lot of hockey stuff in the Buffalo airport. You can find plenty of Bill stuff, but we had to search for our Buffalo shirt. And we bought it, and Drew's like, they're a terrible team. And I didn't realize how bad they were.
And then they got better, so maybe you were the one.
So I've been wearing this constantly. Gabe's not worn them. Gabe's not even been able to wear these two Buffalo shirts. I keep wearing them thinking, like, it's going to be, they're the underdog that I hope, like, goes far. But before we go to break, what's been funny about Buffalo is so many people have dogged them for so long. They've been the laughing stock that because they're in the playoff run, their social media manager for the Buffalo, like for the team, went back in time and now has pulled out what they call, and like it was great marketing, their burn book.
Oh my
and
God.
they have gone back in like deep look at all these terrible comments that people have made about how much they sucked and how they weren't ever going to do anything. And I think there was one big sports commentator at ESPN that gave them 0.00% chance of ever getting there. It's like a big quote, and that's their social media right now, is they have opened their burn book and they're reminding everybody who talked crap about them, and now, hey, we're going to the playoffs. So they may not make it very far, but I have kudos to their marketing group for going back and finding all these atrocious comments that people have said about them. So,
oh my God,
who are you wanting to win before we go to break?
My Abs.
You think they'll make it?
Yeah, they definitely have the potential.
Yeah.
Every time. I'm gonna act like I didn't see that.
Tim, do you have an NHL team that you want to see win?
I don't know. I'm just not into NHL. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Just say Avs so you have an answer.
No, say
Don't
Connor
do it.
McDavid.
Don't do either of those.
I'll say Boston.
Don't do that either.
Well,
I do like
I mean,
Boston.
I kind of like they got that iconic jersey and all that stuff. I sound like my wife, I like Auburn because I like their colors. But,
See, to me, Avalanche to me, the Avalanche are what the Golden Knights are to this generation. Like, they came in, they instantly started winning. They had a stacked roster. It wasn't their fault. They moved it, but they got Waugh, and they were just good right off the bat for so long, and he got burned out so bad. I was like, these players are good. They deserve to go Hall of Fame. And I'm glad that Bork got his cup, but it's like, man, I'm just so sick and tired of the Avalanche. Like,
I think that way about Vegas.
right, that's what I'm saying. For me, that was how it was, because the Avalanche
That's
came
how
in.
Avalanche are for you.
Yeah, and you'd be that first year. It was so cool because it's like, man, Patrick Waugh, this new team, great logo, cool colors.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm done with this. This has got to end, And then it was so terrible growing up with you had Avalanche or Red Wings, and as a Hawks fan, I was like, man, just
yeah,
you just
Well,
I do like the Kings too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kopitar. One more run.
Yep.
They're what, 22 regulation wins?
I think so.
See, my mom decided randomly, like I was the one that got her into hockey, and she decided last year that she's a Minnesota Wild fan. Like she can't give me an answer. She was like, that's who I like, and
Fleury.
I was like, go off.
I'll say with the Fleury
100%.
thing.
She has no idea. She knows who he is, but like
It's because they like to be outdoors and the colors and like the emblem. I think maybe that's
like
it.
to her, like he's not an icon. I understand. I've done enough. I understand. And they went to the Wild Preds game last weekend. They actually missed the Havoc playoff game. Yikes. But she called me on their way home, like the next day, and was like, okay, because I tried to go to a Colorado game earlier this year, and they were like, no. And she called me. She was like, okay, we'll start planning your trip. I was like, I tried to go 3 months ago. So she's in it now.
Well, I'll be very happy when we end up with NHL time. So I'm looking forward to it. And also, it's fun with Gabe at the house because in the summers I have him more during the week, and so we get really lucky when there be like a team that we're really following, and we get to watch it a lot during the week. So it's a lot of fun for us as a family to get to kind of sit there and go through that and stuff. But we got pizza coming out. What is that?
That's our.
Okay, listen, guys, your cheese pizza is coming. I promise, it's on its way.
I really thought he would do that one first, to be honest.
Well, we are gonna take a break and come back and wrap things up. We're going to do some top things of the season, opinions we have, and some fan stuff. Maybe you guys can weigh in on what I say are some top things of the season, and then we'll kind of round it out. We appreciate you guys, and I know that if you wanted to also give you a shout out too of your little creations that you make. Tell us real quick before we go about that. I meant to pull that in.
Yeah, Sleeveless Chris calls them my dolls.
Your little dolls. We've got a picture of this up on the Facebook page, so if you're listening and want to see it. But
yeah.
So people just come up and they ask me, can you make me one of these? And I say, yeah. So I just get it all sanded down, and I mean they're not 3D printed by me. It's the McFarlane figures.
But you've hand painted them and done all the work to them. How long does it take you? Like my husband's got a Brian Wilson one that he is super excited about.
So if it's just the only figure I do, I can bust them out in about 3 days.
Wow.
But I try to group them together. That way I can get more out faster.
Yeah.
It takes me about 2 weeks. I try to group them together for, likeness. That way when I'm printing decals out, they're all right there.
Yeah.
Or if I've already got them, like I just did a huge mess of Brian Wilson ones. I already had them. All I do is just reprint the sheet out.
Gotcha. And you make them for players too.
Yeah.
And family members.
Yeah. So I don't charge the players. And anything that like Tanya wants, I do, because Havoc don't ever say anything about any of this. So it's my way of saying thank you back to them. But the players should never have to pay. The parents should never have to pay. I feel like that's a cool thing I get to give back to the game is, parents want to see want to immortalize their kid, because most of them, this is as high as they go, and they may only get them for a weekend. They may only get them for a week. I mean, last year we had like 3 goalies in 1 weekend because they were, one was here, they got rid of him, signed another guy, and then they ended up getting Taylor. So, it's just one of those things where, if they want it, it's theirs. I'm not going to, charge them. I mean, and the players aren't greedy. They're not sitting there going, well, I want, 6 of them. They just want one of their own. And most of the time they're giving it to their parents. The best is the fighting. I can't remember who it was I gave it to. I think it was Posa. I had made one for myself of his older brother, and last year made one for the parents of him, so I gave him that one. I said, here, you can give this to your parents too, and he kept it. He's like, I loved it so much, I'm not giving it to them. So.
Well, it's very talented. A lot of time and energy. It's so hard for me to think that is not 3D print. Like, you've done such a great job with this. If people want to see your work, where do they go? Is it on Facebook page?
They can message me with my name on Facebook, but at Instagram, I'm at Starry iDesign with 2 underscores between that. Finally got myself a real logo put up there, so it doesn't look so cheesy anymore. But
and you don't just do Havoc. You've done other people to reach out to you.
Football, different sports. Baseball. I've done basketball. I've done girls. Stuff like that. Any sport with girls. The ones that are really neat are the ones people come to me and they're like, hey, can you do this pose? And then I start critiquing things, cutting things, using plaster here and there, and it's really neat. But yeah, any team, any player, that kind of thing. I don't think I've been asked to do one yet that I couldn't do. And there's been some really crazy ones. Like I did one of Roder Bush after he won a fight and he was doing the discount double check, belt thing. And so someone asked me for that. And I was like, let me see what I can do. And then the last year's big ones were the robo up against the boards.
Yeah.
Like that.
He was leaning.
Robo lean.
Yeah. And I even did one where he was perched up on the net like he used to do. So, it's just things like that. It's fun. It's creative. It keeps me, I guess, active and keeps my brain active. So, but
nice.
So
he did one of me. I've got it on my desk at work.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Got a leg up on the chair. Got the call letters.
Oh yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you're out there listening, we do have pictures of this online. Really love it. It's so great, and I always like to give you a shout out because I think that when artists have talent, I want to give talent where talent's due. And so I was not expecting it to be this. When Drew said, hey, I think I have one of these coming, and I was like, what have you done? And then he told me about it, and I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Listen, I've enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about beer league, knowing that there's these options out here. I guess I had this perspective that you just showed up, you just played. There wasn't really any. You had to know how to do this.
We will teach you.
I had this perspective that people had to already know what they were doing when they went out there, and so it's nice to know that if there's people out here in the community that want to try it, fall in love with it, maybe something they want to do, or maybe they did this earlier in life and only did a couple of classes or something. I just really like the thought that that's out here. So
yeah, I would say hit me up, Naha SOL Director at Gmail or nahasol.org.
Okay.
All of the program information's up there, all the league information, everything. So if you've been thinking about getting involved, want to try it, hit a one night ADP. It'll cost you $35. You can rent gear. You don't have to buy gear.
Nice.
So,
and it's nice too, like as a female, especially doing sports stuff. And Catherine and I talk about this a lot about being two women in a very male-dominated field of talking sports stuff. Okay, and to see women kind of helping run and organize something that's primarily a very male-dominated sport in many ways, it's kind of refreshing to see that and see your enthusiasm for that too.
Well, thank you. I think it's a little bit of a mom thing and a herding cats thing. The director, the president of the other adult league is female as well, and Jeanette does a fantastic job.
I love it
over there. So yeah,
I guess we'll have to do it.
Look out, we're coming.
I guess we'll try it out. I won't. I just hope I don't break anything. That's my goal, okay? That's all I ask. But I would love an opportunity to step out on some ice sometime and try to hit, like, I want to know what it's like to hold a hockey stick and how to hold it. And then, like, and I think about how much effort and, like, pressure and momentum you have to get that puck in. And, like, it looks so easy, but it's like hitting a baseball with a bat. Like, you've got to have, like, I just want to know what that's like. So probably pull something, won't be able to move the next day.
We'll get you out in the parking lot. I've got a couple pucks and sticks in the car.
I'm not against it. Hey, my windows are plastic.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
So we're saying we should shoot at your vehicle.
That's fine.
Shoot at your vehicle.
My windows are plastic.
We could shoot at Tim's. The front part's already off of it from the
Shoot at
deer.
his front fender.
That's just the headlight.
Oh.
So,
It's not. It's not just the headlights.
So why?
well, I mean, that you could. Well, yeah, I guess you could shoot at the whole front.
Yeah.
I'm hearing 'tis but a scratch.
But there is an opening for the.
It's just a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound.
That's how we described it. We looked at. We were like, "That is a lot more than what you described to us."
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It just got hit a little bit, and then the whole front passenger
I
side.
just loved it.
Boom.
well, when it was happening, it seemed like a whole lot worse. So,
I'm glad you were okay regardless. So while we were at break, we had our food come out. We got the hat trick. They're eating some good cheese pizza. Is it good? It looks good. It's got a lot of cheese on it. And then we ended up with Weave's margarita pizza.
Little taste of Italy.
Yep. Here
I think
comes.
that one's mine.
His-
You can just put it right there.
He got a freakeroni, and you added what to it?
I added bacon and
Oh,
ground
yeah.
beef.
Yeah, you can just set it right there.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We appreciate y'all. This margarita pizza is so good.
God.
It's so good. I don't know.
That cheese pull that you had was stunning.
Listen,
We'll probably have to half this to take home.
it is so good, and
Yeah.
I am very happy about it. So it's making a high run for me right now.
Yeah, I've had the same favorite. I think the whole time, and
You know,
This-
when I went to order it when we were at the watch party, I asked him, and he told me that it takes a long time to make this one because he makes the dough differently and it cooks differently because he's making it, it's traditional and authentic of a margarita pizza as you could get, with the sauce and the oil and all the things, and love it. Happy.
very good.
Okay, so we are going to kind of wrap this up tonight. We're bittersweet over the fact that Havoc hockey season has ended. It ends so quick. It's like it takes forever for us to get to the first game in October, and then we just fly through these games. And I am having so much fun, and then like something hits me about spring break when everybody goes on spring break, when I realize I don't have a lot of Havoc hockey left, and I'm really sad about it.
You get
So
that melancholy.
it is. It's a weird. It's like I'm on this high of enjoying it and being in the moment and following it, and then I'm like, wait a second, this wave's about to crest, and we're about to be at shore, and it's just really sad sometimes. So we're really sad that our season has ended so early, and that really sucks for a lot of reasons, but we did have some really good things that happened this season, and we want to leave today on a good, happy note of things that we felt were really good for the season. And then also earlier this week, we asked you on social media to share your favorite moments, and you guys came through and really shared some really good stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of those. Catherine's going to share some of those. I came up with the top 5, what I thought were my top favorite moments of the year. This is where I was going to go, and it was fun when I wrote these, and then I looked at what some of the people wrote on Facebook. It was nice to see that other people had some similar moments that were there. So to me, number 5 came in as bringing Kessner on. Was really, it was just really nice. It's number 1 for you.
It is.
It was 5 for me. I really liked the fact that for the first time in my time as a fan, I had somebody who grew up in the city and had some sort of root and connection here playing. We've had people who've played at UAH, but they didn't live here. They didn't grow up here. This was not their hometown. So it was just really nice for me to finally be able to watch a sport that I loved and have a hometown kid come back and be a part of it. I did have a little reservation at the beginning of them putting an A on him for alternate captain. And I was like, hey, wait a second. He's his first year. Like, what are we doing? Like, he's coming back. But Drew, my husband, he really checked me really quick. And he was like, I think that there's a reason for that. This is a hometown guy. This is someone who's had roots here, some things. Give it some time. And
Maturity.
And I completely retract I can't believe they did that comment now that I have seen him and watched him. I think that was a right move for them. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great way. If this was his last season for him to have the season he had. I mean, he was right up there with with points and assists. He had 2 kill goals. What are they called?
Penalty shots.
Penalty shots. Lord, had too much beer. Too much beer. But he had 2 of those, and he delivered on both of them at both times, and that had to feel good. Being in your hometown on a penalty shot, like your Mighty Ducks moment, right?
It went nuts in there Saturday night when he put that in.
And it was always so loud when they announced him as a first starter. So I feel like that was a great moment. And it was also fun to watch his wife have their little girl out there with her little Havoc jersey that said Dada on the back and the number. And I just...
The team signed.
Loved that. So that was number 5 for me. I really point that. Number 4 was the Lindsay's Kiss of Victory fights. That was my number 4 favorite thing from the season. Game changer. We talk about that a lot. You've heard me say that repetitively. But there was just something. I mean, a fight could get us going. I mean, there were good fights this season, but there was nothing like a fight where Ethan Lindsay had gone out there and just wowed the crowd and did their thing.
The best was the All-Star one where Dom and him went at it.
Yes.
Dom took him to the ground and started doing the whole thing. That was funny.
And you were talking about how much the fan base just kind of fell in love with him as a player.
As a rookie,
this season, and wondered, and there was just something fun about having him. It brought back, it's not that there wasn't any life or anything like that. It was just this weird youthful spark that we often forget to have.
I said that he was probably the cushion we need if this was Reggie's last year.
There you go.
That, we needed somebody who was still going to have the intensity and be the fan favorite. And he did kind of remind me a lot of young Reggie. So, I mean, if he comes back and Reggie, goes, I think that'll help soften the blow for those fans who love that energy.
That energy, yeah.
You're still going to always miss a guy like Reggie. There won't ever be a replacement, but it's different when you got a guy there that can still bring you that intensity and that love and care back to the fans. So
he just always looked like he was just enjoying playing, though, not that it was work.
Yeah.
Very personable. You'd see him going to the locker room, wave to him. He'd wave. He'd take his time out to
being thrown into your rookie season, not knowing what life's like when you come down here to Havoc, where everybody's here and everybody wants to watch you play Super Bowl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all those things.
And the number one thing that really made me realize he's a stand-up guy is when Matt Shamblin and Taylor lost that family member. He stepped up and was all about that. He was her favorite player, and he started taping the stick green for her, and that's what the ribbons. He was wearing the ribbon the night that he wasn't playing. So I mean, he really stepped up in a way that players don't have to do. You don't have to go out of your way for that. I mean, you tape your stick up in warm-ups to show appreciation to a family over a sad passing. I mean, that was really what made, I think, it turned me into a Ethan Lindsay fan. So
I agree. Maturity. I liked watching him mature. So he was number 4. My number 3 top favorite thing was Guy and Jacob. Okay, there's a reason they're not number 1. You'll understand in a second.
Can I just say, them not getting broadcast absolute robbery. Absolute. No hate to the Macon guy. No hate. Right. But I listened to at least every arena at least once. Nothing compares. I'm so sorry.
They brought life to it. I told Jacob all year long, like, nothing against the way it used to be called, and nothing against to Mohawk Joe, but those guys just brought life to it, like the call, and everyone kind of got onto him. You're not calling it for both. Yeah, I want to hear it from both sides. I don't want to hear the home ref. I mean, we want to hear a ref call from home. Go be a Bulls fan.
I'm gonna tell you what, though.
Okay, literally.
Right, because I mean, they make up their own stuff there. Like, oh wow, they got 10 million people on their team, and it's like, no, they don't. But they don't play in Huntsville.
When you have somebody in that position that has a background in communication and can do it, and I know others have in the league, okay, but those two, they didn't just. I think a lot of us thought, well, we're just pulling in 2 random guys who were funny and making fun of everybody. I mean, I did. I would say it. But when I got to be like, oh, you guys actually have a background in this. This is something you've done. Like, you've studied it. And guys like teaching communication, like, as a teacher at a college, like, when you start seeing that CB on the back end of it.
And see, most of us only knew them from the funny commentary.
Yeah.
They knew their stuff. They did their homework. I mean, Jacob was invested. I hope he gets to come back because he plays beer league.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was so many weeks he just wouldn't show up because he was studying for that night's game, or he was out late getting, the closing stuff done for the game, and so he couldn't show up the next morning because he was just too exhausted. So, I mean, for him, it wasn't just a weekend troop that they did. It wasn't just a cool, we did this, scratched off our bucket list. That's what they did, and they put everything into it.
They did.
I said, I never really listened to the flow before because it was just, and now it was that little bit of comedy kicked in and was like, it made it a little entertaining, and it made it feel more big league.
It did.
You had two guys in there, just worked so well, feeding off each other. And the intensity Jacob would have with his calls,
yes.
you forgot that, this guy's one of us,
Yep.
100%.
It was the absolute best thing the Havoc did all season.
Yeah.
They did a lot of the Havoc, and I say not Havoc, like, I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about, like, whoever the powers are be that make decisions.
The organization,
okay? I'm always chirpy at the beginning of the season on things that I don't like. And I'm allowed to do that. I'm a fan. I pay money to go watch it, all the things. I hope we're going to be season ticket holders, all those things. I had a lot of things I didn't like that they changed. But I loved bringing Guy and Jacob. And I think that it would be the absolute worst thing they could do to change this. They need to bring Guy and Jacob back. And
yes.
They need to let them stay. And that they need to be a part.
As long as they want to stay.
As long as they want to stay. It has brought a life to its stuff. And it's fun that they are not just two people that go sit up top and do it and leave. Guy walks around with his camera. He's asking people questions. I saw when they had the night where the ticket holder shootout night, the
skills
comp. People were having him sign sticks and having him sign jerseys. The guy was signing things for everybody, you know, and he was drawing his iconic glasses with it. So
I told him he's our Doug McKenzie because he reminds me of the guy from Strange Brew.
Yeah. My second thing that I thought was my top moment was watching the players stay on military night when they swore those guys in.
Yeah.
I appreciated the fact that those Havoc players went back to their bench. They took time away from their break, and they stayed out there until that was over with, and then they were fist bumping and high-fiving the guys and girls that had just signed into the military. And I was a little salty that the other team didn't have enough respect to stay out there too. Let's
remember, not all those hockey players are American. They're Canadian. We've got a Swedish. So they definitely don't have to.
I was very impressed. I don't know if that was a team decision or someone told them. I don't know what it was, but as someone who loves everything about our military and loves and appreciates the sacrifice that everybody that is a member of that does for our country, I just love the fact that our team stood out there and stood. So that was my second top moment.
I hope that becomes a new tradition.
I hope it does too. And I hope whoever we play that night stays their butt out there. And I would hope if there's a military night that happens at another rink, I would hope that our team would also stay out there. I'd criticize them if they left then. They should always support and stay out there.
You just wonder how quick of a decision was that. I said, hey, we're going to the lock. No, let's stay out. And so the other team didn't have a chance. I hate to condemn the other team. Even though it was Birmingham, they still, wasn't it Birmingham, I think?
Yeah.
So I hate to, I give them a lot of crap, but they may not have known because that's never happened before.
That's true.
So maybe next year they'll get it, together ahead of time.
I loved it. It's great. It made me cry.
I was going to say, by the way, am I the only one that cries through that ceremony?
I cry. I cry knowing what those guys and girls are about to do, and then I cry because I'm so thankful that they're going to be the next generation that's going to be able to protect us if something happens and serve. So I'm all about that. Okay, and then my last thing before we talk about real quickly about fan things. So it's not that I'm happy. Like, I am not happy. It was not a great moment that we lost the other night. Okay, that's not the moment. It was at the end of it when I saw the brotherhood on the ice. My top absolute moment, even though it ended on a note where we lost, my top moment this season was standing up there in the stands after it was over. Of course, they had to play Journey, which didn't do very well. And I cried. I sat up there and I cried. It's been a hot minute since I think last time I cried at a sporting event was an Alabama football game I went to or something, like a long time ago, like 15, 16 years ago in college. Like, I stood up there and cried because I saw how close those guys were. I hear it from them every week. I hear them talk about how they are brothers, how they are best friends, how they're a team, how close-knit they were. And we know how hungry you are to win something, like that competition. But I saw a brotherhood. I saw them crying. I'm being emotional. I saw them just, they were there for each other. And it was just like it sunk into me at that moment how much they love this game, how much they appreciate the fans. Like, it was just a moment for me. So even though it ended, the top moment ended with a loss, my favorite moment this season was finally after we've talked to these guys, we hear their stories, all these things. Catherine and I get this unique opportunity to sit down with them and learn things about them and ask them things that nobody else gets to do. And seeing that on the ice just made everything make sense to me.
It was like they collectively came together to give each one a curtain call.
There you go.
One by one, they went off. The coaches stayed. I mean, it was like they knew, and it kind of, like you said, it was a bittersweet, sad moment because I hadn't seen anything like that since we lost to Birmingham in the conference finals, whatever you want to call it. And those players did the same thing, and you knew going into that game, going into that year, like this was the end of Glenn. This was probably the end of Tyler. This was going to be the end of Cy. And so when that ended, you knew Max was coming back just for that year. He was one to finish out as a Havoc. And so when that ended, that was very sad. And that's what Saturday night looked like, was when they gave each other their last curtain call. It was like, how many of these guys aren't coming back? Yeah. And they know it. And the brotherhood knew it and was giving them their farewell send-off and the best way where the fans could be involved with it. So I was taking video because I'm like, this is going to be the end. And, I took a video of Wilson going off. I hope he comes back. But the way he kind of left, it was like, man, is it up in the air? Is he going to explore an ECHL career next year, because he's good enough he could do it. But it just, same way, like it felt like, man, are we about to have a big changeover?
And it was just, again, we hear and we see so much, and I think I've heard them so many times tell me how close they are, how much they're bonded, how they're brothers, that they take care of each other. It's not just an on the ice. Lindsay joking about seeing everybody who lives next door to them in their apartment complex, just and seeing that brotherhood, and it just all made sense. As I stood there, tears streaming down my face, crying uncontrollably, and the BBC guy's like, "You got to get out of here," and I'm still up there having my moment.
And they can say that all day. They can tell us every week, "Oh, we're so close." It almost feels like, especially with if it was a higher up league, like, "Oh yeah, like we're all friends," but that may not be the truth. They just have to say it because they're on the team together. That is more telling than them telling us. They can say all day, "Oh, we're so close." When they're on the ice together, crying, hugging.
Lindsay, who didn't even play, goes out there and is hugging Reggie and hugging everybody. Yeah. And being that person who's not able to do. I mean, I don't know how to explain it other than I hate that we lost, but my top moment was finally having such a unique opportunity to sit where you and I sit, talk to them, get their stories, share that with fans who get to enjoy that, and then seeing it all make sense at that moment. That Havoc way, that pack mentality, whatever that thing is that the Havoc pride themselves on. I saw it in the arena Saturday night, and that was my top moment of the year, was finally getting to see what they've been telling me.
And that's something that Havoc has always done. You go back and you look at those teams that have won. You go back and you look at Glenn, and you look at what they have done and accomplished, and having had conversations years back, I see them still following that, where they're looking for that chemistry, not just on the ice, but in the locker room and outside of that rink. They want those guys to be a new family and to play for each other.
I agree. Okay, quickly, you got any good fan comments? We got some really good people that.
Yeah, we got some saying starting their jersey collection. Some of them meeting their favorite players. Somebody said Reggie throwing a guy like a rag doll, which, to be honest, that could be any single fight that he's ever been in his career. Let's be totally honest. Somebody said like riding the Famboni, which I did not get to do. Somebody said bench warmers, which I did get to do.
You did get to do bench warmers.
Which was a lot of fun. I love that perspective. Because, you don't get to sit that low. You don't get to have that perspective. That was so much fun. My sister got that for me for Christmas. And that was insane.
Tim, we're going to ride the Famboni next year. I'll hold the Reekin Havoc sign. When we don't tempt me.
Somebody said Alger's hat tricks, which agreed. Somebody said, pause after this. This is just a sentence. Kessner's final goal as a member of the pack. Again.
Don't know.
Well, that's what we're led to believe.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Somebody said Proctor's bow to the crowd, which I'll be honest, I did not see, but I wasn't.
It was an away game.
I was, girl, I was sobbing. I was holding my nephew because this is the first year he's been like understanding of what's going on. And anytime they put Reggie down for a penalty, he'd be like, "Free Reggie!" Like, and just scream it. And I'm like, "What did he do?" And he goes, "I'm not really sure, but I know he's in the box and he shouldn't be." Like, that's what he would do.
Blind faith.
Exactly. And I was holding him. I was like, "Dude, come." Like, I didn't know if he could see over me, so I was holding him. And I told him something. And he just wrapped his he's 7. He just wrapped his little arm around my neck and just put his head on my head. And he was like, "I'm not ready." I was like, "Oh, man.
Same.
That hurt."
Same, brother, same.
Yeah, when Tyler left, we were at the last game, and she knew, and she thought he was moving away, and I'd already known he was taking the job, but you told things in confidence, so you keep it to yourself. And we're walking out of the stadium there in Pelham, and she's like in tears because it's like the last time she's gonna get to see him. And,
I felt that, girl.
So I broke, and I said, "Hey, look," I said, "keep this to yourself," but he's not leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, and so then she kind of calmed down a little bit more. But yeah, it was, but it hits you like it's not just your feelings; it's the whole fan base has that guy. Right?
Yeah.
So when they leave, it's somebody's heartbroken.
Yeah.
The teddy bear toss. And it should have probably been one of my top ones too. And it is, but I wanted the teddy bear toss. I like the fans brought that up. Getting like
Naming it after Shannon.
not only naming it after Shannon, but like, so you have players that do the things, and then you have like the fan base, and it's really interesting to see that kind of thing where the players are out there gathering them up. They're not out there bringing them in. It's a full fan thing that made that happen to honor someone who had this crazy idea. And it wasn't a crazy idea in a bad way. It's just like, it doesn't see it happen very often to make that happen. And I love that was a part of what happened this season.
And her and her husband are some of the like greatest fans. Like,
Exactly.
I luckily had the honor of meeting both of them. And if you don't know, when you hear that loud drum, that is Shannon's husband.
Yeah.
And he sits in 221, and they are one of the best sections to sit in.
Yeah.
We call it cell block 221 because they are hilarious. That was one of my first times in the 200s, and we got to sit next to them. And I was like, "I have stupid questions." And they're like, "There's no such thing as stupid questions." I was like, "You haven't met me then."
Well, I really liked seeing all those. And I told Drew, I said, "We have to find a ticket to this. I don't ever miss Teddy Bear Toss, and I didn't want to miss that one." And it was really emotional because you knew what it was, but the teddy bears kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And I listened to the games I listened to Guy and Jacob while I'm watching the Havoc live. I always do that now. And I remember Guy going, "The teddy bears are coming, I gotta go." And you hear him take his headset and you hear it clunk down, and he like threw that thing down to get down those 68 steps so he could get down there and video it. That was a great moment. So I'm glad you mentioned that, but I'm glad that
well, what was great, you talk about the brotherhood on the ice. It was the brotherhood, the family of the fans. I mean, I know Tanya was stirring it up, and everybody was posting how many they were getting and stuff like that, but you didn't fully realize how many people were involved until that night, and it was just flooding. And then the crew and the team knew it was going to be big because they were out there immediately scooping them up. They didn't wait for them to lay out there like years past. They just knew, like, if we don't get them now, we're going to be out here for hours trying to pick all these stuffed animals up. So it was really nice that, it's sad that it happened the way it did. That it took her passing for people to really dive into it, but it was so great that fans felt Bo's pain.
Exactly.
Wanted to show him that they love Shannon. and poured it all out there. And oh man, if I was Bo,
I don't know how you kept it together.
I'd have had to grab one of them stuffed animals and dry my eyes with, because that would have been just to see how much people cared.
And you know what else was good was seeing the chirping in the other leagues talk about the fact, like,
yeah,
I don't know why. Like, listen, if you're in another league, like another team in our league, like, just get over it. We do everything really good, and now
better is the word you're looking
for. I mean, we do things better, and now we do the teddy bear toss better. So those leagues should honor Shannon's memory of someone. I mean, I'm just being honest. Honor her memory all across. It goes to help kids. It brings some life to people. I'm not saying call it the Shannon Matthews one at the Bulls or whatever, but make it big.
Yeah.
Make it big. Make it a huge thing because just make it a big thing. So
issue a challenge.
Yeah.
I'm all about issuing challenges. I think they should. I saw Bulls fans just chirping about it, fussing about the fact that
just because your barn is a quarter the size doesn't mean you get to talk.
And then it was like, oh well, we never get that, Mayor. They just think, and I was like, you know what? I don't. Just be excited about the fact that we're honoring somebody. We're gonna make some kids really happy with this. Like, that's all that mattered. Okay, you got a couple more real quick before we.
Yeah, we got. Actually, speaking of Birmingham, the MLK game. I remember 205 is the section, and I was actually a part of this. Ethan got into a fight and was sent to the box, and a bunch of us fans were standing up and cheering and clapping and blowing him kisses, and he noticed us from across the ice and started grinning and blew a kiss back and waved, and I was like, that's the best thing to ever happen. It was hilarious.
He knew what he was doing.
Oh, 100%.
He knew what he was doing, so everything was good. I got one more good one. One more. We had a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm going to share some of these too.
Somebody said the channel cat's on the Famboni and Willie's thinking thoughts. So true.
Yeah, the thinking thoughts.
Crazy.
Even if you don't come back, they gotta
thinking
get that
thoughts
in there.
was great. It was absolutely wonderful. So
it was so funny.
Okay,
so good.
Well, we got some really good entries. If you've not gone on our Facebook page and looked at that yet, please do that. And then we also have Fan of the Week. Exciting. Let me pull this up, because I like to read what the person says about their Fan of the Week thing. Let me get back to it. Okay. So this week's Fan of the Week, let's pull it up. Is it Annika?
Annika Holcomb.
Annika Holcomb. Yeah. So, Annika Holcomb, you are our Fan of the Week for Reekin Havoc. You have won a $40 gift card to Dostal, and you've heard us talk about how good the food is.
Get the pizza.
Get the pizza. It's really good. But I like what she wrote as part of her entry, which was, my dad introduced me to hockey at a very young age. He passed when I was 18, and I continue to honor his memory by going to Havoc games and drinking his favorite beer, a Yuengling. And I don't know if I probably butchered it. His favorite beer. And I have converted my husband into a hockey fan. We're fanatics, stay till every game till the end of the final season. Once a Havoc fan, we're always a Havoc fan. And I think that sums that up. So wonderful, wonderful.
Yay.
Yes, so it's been a lot of fun. If there was a beer league pizza, what would be on a beer league pizza? If there was a themed beer league pizza, what would you put on it?
I mean, my favorite pizza place up north actually puts beer in the crust.
That's crazy.
It's awesome.
Like,
it is awesome.
How does that work?
It is awesome.
Okay. Beer in the crust.
Let Chad know.
Beer in the crust.
Chad. Beer league pizza that has beer crust pizza.
Beer crust.
Okay.
Yep.
What would you do?
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty basic and plain.
You're picky.
Yeah, we have this whole margarita pizza, and he was like, I'll take the cheese.
Yeah, no, I don't do chunks
I don't like the tomatoes.
Yeah. I do have a question for you guys, since you guys all have questions.
We never get questions. I'm scared.
So, no, it's a good one. Since we're closing out the season, we got all this uncertainty. Everything trends to where we might lose 3 letters this year.
Okay.
Given the guys that you think are going to come back, who would wear your C and your 2 A's? Because that question's going to come up. Gary's going to ask that later in off season. So.
I think Gio gets one of them. I don't know what he gets, but I think Gio gets one of them. What do you think?
I'm trying not to add to the widespread of rumors.
No, you can't. I mean, everybody's rumoring about this. We are not saying yay or nay.
If you think they're on the fence,
Paul Feinbaum has
like
these things
out.
all the time. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also think Gio would get a letter. I wouldn't be super surprised if Lindsay ended up with a letter after what he's done in just 1 year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Who gets that C?
Alger.
You think he'd come back?
see,
He's got a local job though, like so he was. They toyed with us saying, "Oh, he's got a job," and we were all heartbroken thinking he wasn't coming back. And then next thing you know, he's signed.
So I'm thinking we're going to end up losing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Paul Feinbaum does all the time. Okay, but I just see Kessner's last year. My speculation is I think this was Kessner's last year. If he comes back, I would be very surprised. He's got a job and a family, like little ones, everything, and he's an older guy too, playing. Like I just see that this was his moment. Okay, I think Dom has maybe a year or two left, but he's also setting roots and stuff, and with his wife and the jobs and things. I just don't know how much longer he'll be here. I think Reggie, it's hard for me to think Reggie would leave. I think he would have one more year. I could see Reggie coming back one more time.
What'd you say, Drew?
I think captain's going to be Reggie, and the 2 assists are going to be Alger and Gio.
Reggie is a toss-up. He could or could not. I don't see. I mean, Willie might leave. I don't know. I really didn't think about it that far into it. But
if I could give an A to him, I would.
That's what I'm saying. The goalies not get to have those things.
They can have an A, but it's really kind of a conflict of interest because they're by themselves the whole time. They can't cross the red line.
To be able to talk, right?
It's
the year that they gave
on the ice, to try and get the goalie, captain, or
I think
it's hard to be a leader when you're not on that bench for those guys. The year that Canucks gave Luongo the C, it created all kinds of turmoil inside that locker room. There was all kinds of struggle pull between this, that, and the other thing. And then, of course, a written rule is the goalie cannot wear a letter. That's why if you look at when Luongo, he had the C painted on his chin.
Gotcha.
That kind of sucks, but at the same point, I wouldn't want that. I can be a leader without having to have a letter on me.
Well, I think Alger still has a year or so left, so I could see him moving into a captain role if Dom wasn't here, or Reggie moving into a captain role if Dom was not here. But I think the two that I think end up at some point getting it are Lindsay and I think Gio.
Yeah.
And I think Gio, like I said, he has proved himself. And you worry about siblings on teams together of somebody overshadowing the other one. Like that's like a thing in school I've always heard. There was never any overshadowing. They were all their own individual person, and it's been nice to kind of watch Gio move up through some of the things that Dom does and kind of become sort of that personality that his brother has. So I see him as wearing some letter. I don't know what that is, but that's just mine.
And I know Ern already had time in the coast, and so he's seasoned, and I don't know that he would want it. But I could see him doing it because of the experience and the IQ that he has.
Ern is he's smart. He's got talking to him in that interview. I was floored with just how mentally controlled he was. He
seems like a hothead, but
he understood all the different parameters about it and how overwhelming it can be and different things. And it was just really, really nice to have that. So
yeah.
I don't know. I could see him wearing one too, but I think Gio gets a letter.
So we're just all assuming that Fries is done then, because he has a letter and nobody mentioned him moving up to captain.
I just think that I just don't see him. Maybe not. I don't know.
I feel like the best teammate we had out there was Fries. Because he'd go out there.
He's a very good teammate, for sure.
Yeah.
He would go out there, and there'd be a scrum, and he would go out there, and he'd beat somebody's fist up with his face every game.
But I think that might be part of why nobody sees him with the C. Maybe the emotional aspect.
Yeah, but that's what you want from your captain, is to go out there and stick up for it. It makes for a great assistant because you want your captain on that ice, and I think that's what made Dom so great was he could be the leader and not take a penalty until it was needed. But Dom started getting targeted like Reggie did. Dom's out there and barely touched a guy, and there was slashing. Where Fries kind of blends. The dude gets in 3-4 fights a game, gets the crap kicked out, and goes right back without even thinking. I mean, fighting takes a lot out of you, and he just does it without even thinking. And I mean, I wasn't the biggest Fries fan coming into his tenure here, but
maybe
seeing how he's there. I mean, there's no, he's not aggressive with it where he's always looking for the fight, but when it's there, he just doesn't think twice. And I mean, if he comes back, he would be a good captain. I think he's got a lot of leadership. Plus, he's the vet that's been in this league. I mean, he's played for almost every team. So
I just was assuming, again, speculation. This would be like an end for him too. I guess based on things that like we were talking about, we saw at the very last final bow moment. I just wasn't expecting, like, if he comes back, I'm just not expecting it.
And that's what's so hard is because it's not just the team that's made a home for people. It's the area is so inviting that most of these players, when they retire, you just assume, they went back to Canada or they went back to, Texas, whatever.
Yeah.
But they stay here. And so then you see the guy around and like Killer, and it's like, is he really gone? Is he really? I mean, he's staying around. No, he's really gone, so, but it's nice because you still get to see people like that at the rink. You can still see Killer. You can still see some of the old Havoc Grays. I know the Channel Cats, Gibson. He still wanders around. You can go up and talk to him. So that's what really makes Havoc experience so great is these players don't just leave. They stick around so you can still have chit-chats and stuff. I mean, Nolan stayed. Tyler stayed. Stuff like that. So, I mean...
That's true.
It's nice.
Well, we will see what happens. There's a lot of time, and before we know it, it'll be hockey season again, and we'll be all happy again.
Yeah.
Good question. I like that one. I think Gio I think he gets a patch at some point.
It'd be cool to see him, if Dom leaves, it'd be cool to go right into Gio, just passing it down. They could do their whole little media event for it.
It'd be kind of a neat thing.
And we'll be getting the protected list, probably the beginning of June?
I think so. Which is nice.
That'll tell us a little bit.
Yeah, it'll help us understand some. So, okay. Well, this was fun. Had a good time. Learned a lot about beer league I didn't know.
Yes.
So we're going to get out there and try it. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Good time. It'll be a lot of fun, okay?
You guys could do a live hour at one of the games and be like the new Jacob and Guy.
Oh, God.
You can mic us up, okay, Tim? We can hot mic us. Although I'll probably cuss. So
I was just thinking that.
Interviews in between the period and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. This was fun. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Thanks for having us.
If you're out here listening and you've got any questions about beer league hockey and how do you get involved and stuff, check out our Facebook page. We'll share some information on how you can get involved in all of that, okay? As always, thankful for Dostal for hosting us and letting us come and eat some really good food and taste some stuff. Love it. That's why we always ask what kind of pizza would you have. So maybe there'll be a beer-infused pizza. Maybe that's a good challenge.
I could see him doing that for sure.
I could see him doing that for the summer. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Fan of the Week. So get your entries in. Let us know, and we'll pick another Fan of the Week. So we're thankful for that. But from myself, and then Catherine and Tim, and then we've got Zach and Stephanie and the Hat Trick. We appreciate all of you joining us and listening. You've been listening to the Reekin Havoc podcast live here at the Dostal Beer House, and we'll see you in a few weeks.